going to call the meeting to order. Let's call the meeting to order. Monday, the 6th of February, 2006, right at 7 o'clock p.m. Bishop Charlie Williams is not here. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Bell to give the invocation, preceded by the Pledge of Allegiance by the Police Explorers and Vice Mayor Lawson. Would you all please stand?
Heavenly Father, we just ask that you'd be among us tonight, you'd be with us tonight as we conduct this business. Father, I pray that our behavior would be honorable, that our behavior would be pleasing to you as we do the city's business. I pray that you would delight in what we do, Father, and we would give you all the praise and the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please join with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Over here, Thomas. Over here, Thomas. You may be seated.
Yesterday morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday morning, yesterday morning, Vice Mayor Losner lost his grandmother, Miss Beatrice Losner, 92 years old. And if you know the history and the background of the Losner's family, tremendous contributors to the growth and development of the city of Homestead. In addition to Mrs. Losner's passing, on Friday, the city family lost one of his employees, Mr. Anthony Clayton, from a heart attack. So I would ask, on behalf of the Losner's family and the Clayton family, that we pause for a moment of silence. Thank you all very much. And please keep the families in your prayers as they go through the period of bereavement. And let me, we have a good friend in the audience, Senator Dick Rennick, a good friend of Homestead for many, many years. Senator Rennick, would you stand and be recognized? Thank you, sir, for coming. And I see we also have former mayor of the city of Homestead, Mr. Fred Rhodes. Thank you, sir, for coming. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Warren?
Here.
Vice Mayor Losner?
Here.
Councilwoman Bell?
Here.
Councilwoman Garner?
Here.
Councilman Hodge? Councilman Porter?
Here.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Here.
We also have Ruth is out there.
And let me apologize, we also have former Vice Mayor, Ms. Ruth Campbell. Any additions, deletions, or deferrals?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, we need to defer item 7A. There was an error in the address that was put on the resolution.
Okay. Pardon? It is 7A?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Anything else, Rich?
No.
Thank you, sir. Special presentation. Office of the Year, Officer Andres Eric Rodriguez. Would you come forward, the chief, and Mr. Porter, would you join me?
Yes, sir.
Each year, ladies and gentlemen, the Homestead Police Department have their annual police ball, and at that occasion, they announced the Office of the Year. And we wanted to bring the officer forward this evening because very seldom the community know that we recognize the Office of the Year at the police ball. And we felt that it was fitting to share Mr. Andres Rodriguez with the community and to certainly express our appreciation for his outstanding performance in 2005. I can't begin to enumerate his activity in 2005, but I will tell you that he's probably one of the hardest working officers we've had in many, many years. And he was duly recognized and certainly deserved the Office of the Year award. So on behalf of the Mayor and the Vice Mayor and Council, I'd like to present to Andres Rodriguez, 2005 Office of the Year, with our sincere appreciation and gratitude for your untiring dedication and service to the Homestead Police Department and our community. City Homestead Mayor and City Council, you will always be part of our family. A beautiful presentation. And at the occasion, I was fortunate enough to be asked to be the guest speaker at the ball in December. And I read a poem called God's Policeman. And this is a poem that came from my heart. And some of the words came from a book I read many, many years ago. But I wanted to share the poem with you all, and certainly to present it to Officer Andres Rodriguez. And the poem is titled God's Policeman. You are who you are for a reason. You're part of an intricate plan. You're in a precious and perfect, unique design called God's Policeman. You look like you do for a reason. Our God made no mistake. He stitched you together within the wounds. You're just what he intended to make. The tasks you have are the ones he chose, and no matter how you may feel, they were custom designed with God's plan in mind, and they bears the master's seal. We know that trauma you face day in and day out is not easy, and God weeps when it hurts you so. But it is allowed to shape your heart so that into his likeness you grow. You are who you are for a reason. You've been formed by the master's hand. You are who you are, a policeman. You're part of God's master plan. Congratulations. And Mr. Porter serves as the chairman of the Public Safety Committee, and I'm going to ask him to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Mayor. We just wanted to bring forward what we want to be one of the points that the police officers strive to be, which is the Officer of the Year. So this is our first ever plaque of any significance where we could really honor the Police Officer of the Year, and we feel like, I mean, it's a beautiful plaque, and they do a wonderful job, and we wanted to create something that would be very historic for the particular officer that is voted in by his or her peers to be the officer and represent the police department for the Officer of the Year. And I'm very proud of what the staff has done. I mean, Captain Fogley has been working very hard to create a plaque that would be of extreme significance to the officers. It has a city seal, it has a police seal, and it's a very, very beautiful plaque, so I would encourage you to take a look at it if you can. But we're very proud of the police department. They do a fabulous job for this community, and we can't do enough for them except for just recognize them and thank them, and that's what we're doing today. And Mayor, your poem was lovely, and we definitely had to have that as well. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor, and congratulations.
I had a comment that I wanted to share under my business, but to shorten the meeting, I'd like to share it with the community at this time. The mayor and council received an email from one of our local citizens, and it was in response to a Channel 7 undercover report where they went to every police department in Dade and Broward County asking to file a complaint about a police officer. And this reporter said that only 2 police departments that had a form to file a complaint was Homestead in the city of Florida City. And this was an undercover reporter, Channel 7. And she said most of the police departments treated the undercover reporter quite rudely when asked to file a complaint. The Homestead Police Department was respectful to the undercover report at all times, and she wanted to make sure that we were aware of how proud she was of our police department. It tells us you never know who's going to walk in and ask for something, but I tell you, the leadership here tells me and tells this council and tell the manager that we have, and I continue to say publicly, the best police department in the state of Florida. And we're proud of it. We're very proud of it.
Thank you very much. I'm really humbled and honored to be a member of the Homestead Police Department. Truly love my job. I love the members of the community, everybody that we work with and we serve. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor, and the council for everything, for all the support that we get from the community. We can't do our job without your support, and that's what we're here for. Thank you very much.
Was 5B canceled?
Yes, sir.
And 5C, we on 5D, Rodeo Association presentation to Park and Recreation and Solid Waste Department, Councilwoman Wallman.
Pleasure to introduce to you our fine folks from the Rodeo Association. I'll let you all know Walter. Everybody say their names. As you know, we had the rodeo this past weekend, the weekend before last, and it was probably the most successful one in many, many years. When you say the streets were full and the parade was, I heard was wonderful. I was out of town, unfortunately, but I'm going to turn this over to these fine folks because they know who they want to thank, and I have some cards for you to present.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's a pleasure for me to be here. My name is Walter Bryant. I'm the president of the Homestead Rodeo Association. To my right is Tom Smith. He is my vice president. Again, I want to thank the City of Homestead Mayor and council and the city manager's office for the support they've given us in the past 57 years. This was our 57th annual rodeo. Without their support, it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to put on this rodeo. The reason I'm here today is every year, right prior to our rodeo, Thursday before our rodeo, we have an appreciation dinner. Unfortunate for me, as well as right here, I was not able to attend, and also I have the Park and Recreations were not able to attend, and also Waste Management. So with that, I would like to bring up Mr. Kurt Herring from the Park and Recreations Department. This is a Rodeo Association appreciation presented to City of Homestead, Department of Park and Recreations, to Mr. Kurt Herring for your outstanding support for the 57th Annual Homestead Rodeo, January 27th, 28th, 29th, 2006. Stay here. Also, I'd like to bring up Solid Waste Department, Milton Bailey.
Came in just in time.
And again, Rodeo Association appreciation presented to the City of Homestead Solid Waste Department, Mr. Milton Bailey, for your outstanding support for the 57th Annual Homestead Rodeo.
We'll just stay up here just for a second so we can get it.
Before I step aside, I'd like to recognize Sally Wood. Would she stand up? Where's she at? One of your own is also a member of the Rodeo Association, and Ann Owenbrick, she is our photographer for the Rodeo Association.
I'd just like to extend a great thank you to the mayor, all the council members, especially the Parks and Rec Department, as well as Solid Waste Department. Without these people and their extra effort behind the scenes to help us, you all wouldn't be having a rodeo down here, I'll guarantee you that. The hours of work that go on behind the scenes to make this one of the greatest rodeos in Florida as well as the United States of America just couldn't happen without everyone's support, and we want to thank you.
And I just want to say, there are unsung heroes, our city employees and our directors and our staff. They do so much stuff behind the scenes. They never get any credit for it. And I want to thank the Rodeo Association because you're one of the few organizations that step up to the plate and come out and appreciate and recognize the unsung heroes that help to put these events on. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Item 5E is the busway extension update. Mr. Scott Bland.
It's great to be here tonight to give you a little update on the busway extension. I'm the Public Information Officer. I've seen many of you working on the project here for the last 3 years, and I'll be coming back here from time to time to explain to you where we're at with the project. Basically, I think the first thing to talk about is the intersection work because that has most of the impact for the City of Homestead. We're currently working on 3 intersections, which is Southwest 324th Street, Mallory Drive, and also Southwest 336th Street. And I'd like to tell you tonight, I'm pleased to say that we started the paving on Mallory Drive on the first phase. We're going to have that open one side, the west side, sometime this week or early next week. We're going to be doing the paving at Southwest 324th Street, both sides. Tomorrow or Wednesday, we're also doing the sidewalk, so that should be opened up fairly soon. We're having a little more difficulty with 336. There's some water line issues, but after that, around March 15th, we'll be starting our next round of intersections, and those will be Southwest 328th Street, and then we're also going to be working on Chrome Avenue. So those will be the next ones. Aside from that, everything else is going very well with the busway. Hopefully we're behaving very well and we're not causing too much of a hindrance. I've had a great opportunity to work with some organizations earlier in the week. Last week I was with the Homestead Main Street group. I gave them a presentation, made some strong context, explained to them about the business entrance signs that are available to everyone. And we also had a great meeting with Commissioner Moss's group. There's a loan program out there. Some of the businesses are already looking to take advantage. It's $35,000. It's for about 5% for businesses that are impacted. We had a pretty good article in the Miami Herald about that. So that's what's going on there. As far as the other parts of the busway, we're working on 2 bridges. They're both north of 296, C103 and C103N. We already started driving piles at C103. The bus shelters are already well underway. We're working at 344. We have the steel structures up, and then we're doing very well with 324. We're starting at Civic Court. So those are the main issues that we have there now. I'm here to help anyone out. I can leave some cards for people. If you have any questions, well, I know you have a full agenda. I can answer any questions at this time, and that's what we have for you.
Mr. Porter, Scott, could I ask you a question? On the Maury interchange and the Maury section that they're working on now, that section appears to be rather a good bit higher than it used to be, and there's already been some significant flooding problems in that corner. Could you meet with city staff and let's take a look at that and make sure we're not making the problem worse than it already may be, or at least if we're going to tear it up, maybe we can build in something to fix the problem?
Yeah, that's a good question there, and that was also brought up in the Homestead Main Street meeting. We were aware of that too. We did notice that its elevations are higher, and the engineer has looked at it, and we're making some adjustments with the drainage. We've had that when we did US 1 a few years ago. The road was higher than some of the low-lying properties, so but we could talk in specifics about that, but we are on that, and it was noticed by us as well, and it's something that we definitely won't leave anything worse than it was before. They'll be fine with the drainage and all that.
You know, while we're in the process of tearing it up, if there's something significant that we can do to make it a little bit better, I would like to try to incorporate it now rather than fix the road and then have to cut it all up and try to fix the problem. So, but I know that the staff I just wanted to bring it to your attention if you hadn't noticed.
Yes, I definitely will follow up with you tomorrow. We'll set up a meeting with the head engineers and just explain the situation, the remedies that they're working on. I've also met with a few businesses who wanted to understand the project with the drainage and the elevation differences, like the Dorenda company, Flowers by Dorenda, and a few others. So we are aware of that, and I think it'll work out fine, and we'll inform you on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Yvonne Knowles, Homestead Main Street update.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Just to follow up to Scott's presentation, on February the 1st, Homestead Main Street invited Scott Brand to come to speak to us. We had about 20 business owners and property owners come to our meeting. It was a very informative session. They had a lot of questions for him. We're e-blasting out now updates on all their questions. Scott has kindly offered to send the responses back to Main Street. We'll send out the responses back to the people who attended. Anybody who's interested in attending any of these get-togethers, we're going to probably do them in about another 60 days, keep people informed. And you can contact us at info@homesteadmainstreet.org. And we will put you on the list. So if you have a business downtown or in the Main Street area, you don't have to be a member of Main Street. but if you're a part of the downtown district, we'd love to have you come and participate in these informative meetings. The other downtown issue that's affecting the downtown businesses is the Losner Park expansion, or I guess you'd call it the retrofit project, which is an upgrade of Losner Park. And CRA has kindly offered to keep us abreast of their project and how it's going forward. And again, if you have a business downtown or you're a merchant in the area renting business property, please let us know if you'd like to come to any of these meetings. And our goal at Main Street is to keep the downtown merchants informed of what's happening as it affects your business. The other side of Main Street is event planning. We have 2 events in downtown Homestead this month. February 11th, we have an event called Jazz Under the Stars. A quintet by the name of Inner Court will be performing on Losner Stage from 7 to 10 o'clock. And we'll have a Mardi Gras themed activity planned also that evening. The other event is February the 25th. It's called Rock Stars 101. It's about 600 kids on the street, so if you have earplugs, please bring them. It's going to be competing bands under the direction of the Music Depot. It's a great night. The kids love it. So if you wonder where your kids are on Saturday night, February 25th, check out Losner Park. I have a feeling we'll be there. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, Yvonne, and I want you guys to keep up the good work down on Main Street. Thank you. Consent agenda, the motion for approval.
So moved, Mayor.
Moved by Councilman Gorman. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilman Porter. Any questions on the consent agenda? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Public hearing, ordinances, land use item. Richard?
Please be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment on any of these items, please indicate the item number you'd like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must first present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning any items on the agenda. At this time, the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on any quasi-judicial item.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I hereby state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Item 7B is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting final plat approval for Bimini at Oasis, located south of C-103 Canal from approximately southwest 142nd Avenue to the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A 17.85-acre site consisting of 103 single-family units and providing for an effective date.
Move the resolution, Mayor.
Moved by Councilman Porter, second by Councilwoman Wallman. Any comments from council?
Just one comment, Mayor.
Mr. Porter?
This project was platted, or finally went before the council. Preliminary plat was in November of 2004. This is not a new project.
Right, all of these items are just final plats implementing previous approvals. These are not new approvals.
This is a public hearing. Any comments from the audience? Any comments from the audience? This is final plat approval. Any comments from the audience? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Any final comments from council? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Losner?
Yes.
Councilman Porter?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garner?
Yes.
Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Motion carries.
C is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting final plat approval for Aruba at Oasis located south of the C-103 Canal from approximately 142nd Avenue to Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing an effective date.
Move for final approval.
Moved by Councilman Waldman for final plat approval. Is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilman Porter. Any comments from council? This is a public hearing. Any comments from the audience? Any comments from the audience? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Any final comments from council? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
I'm sorry. Councilman Porter?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garner?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Losner?
Yes.
And Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Motion carries.
D is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead granting final plat approval for Emilio's Place at Oasis located northeast corner of the Oasis PUD west of 147th Avenue, north of 320th Street, Maury Drive, and south of the C-103 Canal as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing for an effective date.
Move the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Porter. Is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Second by Councilwoman Garner. Any initial comments from council? If not, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the audience? Dr.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'm Jim Trantham, 2375 Southeast 7th Place. I just have one question, maybe you can clear it up. On the other plat approvals, it's usually been about 6 to the acre. I remember we discussed that before. Now I see that on this final approval for this, it's going to be 143 single-family units on a little over 18 acres. It looks like to me that's about 8 to an acre. So has that been changed? We're moving those up now? That's just a question. I'm not...
If I may answer that question, Mayor and Council.
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing actually is 7.6 units to the acre, and what you have again is the overall Oasis PUD stays within 6, which means it's a combination of how much is in each of the various PUDs that are put together. The two previous ones, which are 5.7 and 4.6, are really a function of this being 7.6. So they're averaged out, and the overall is about 6 on the nose.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
Any final comments from council? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Porter?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garner?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Losner?
Yes.
Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Legislative matters, ordinances, and ordinances of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending City Code of Ordinances by amending Chapter 30, Zoning, Article 4, Supplemental District Regulations, Division 8, Special Exceptions to eliminate subdivision entrance gates and features, providing for severability, inclusion in the code, conflicts, and effective date. This is a second reading and public hearing.
I'll move it, Mayor.
Moved by Councilwoman Bell. Is that second? Second by Councilwoman Garner. Any comments from council? If not, I'll open the public hearing. Any comments from the audience? Any comments from the audience? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Any final comments from council? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Councilwoman Bell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Garner?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Losner?
Yes.
Councilman Porter?
Yes.
Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Anything else, Richard?
No, sir.
Any public comments at this time? Any public comments at this time?
My name is Kevin Sullivan, 1860 Southeast 6th Court. I'm here this evening not representing any organization or entity. I'm here to speak about an op-ed article that I read in the South Dade News Leader. And all I can say, if the facts contained in that article are correct, the millions of dollars that have not come into the city treasury, it's beyond shocking. It's absolutely ludicrous. I do not understand how a body can sit up here and tell us taxpayers, and I sat out there in the audience, that you were going to lower our millage rate. You did. But wow, if we had this kind of money sitting out there and you didn't collect it, then you didn't do your job. It's absolutely shocking. It's so shocking to me, because I was here the night that you instructed the city manager to cancel the contract. You asked questions of the city attorney. You were told by the city attorney that the contract was written in such a way that there was no harm to the city. If the supplier or the person that you were supplying with the fill objected to it, they had to go after the Redland Construction. So now I'm puzzled. I just don't know why the reversal. That was right here in this council chamber. It's puzzled me so much that I have taken the time to sit down and write 2 letters. And the reason for these letters is I think there might be criminal intent here. Now, do I know how to figure that out? Absolutely not. But I did write to the state's attorney and to the U.S. attorney. I have included the facts that I have at hand, and I'm asking them to look into it. But even beyond that, my mother used to say to me, Kevin, if you get involved in a deal and it has an odor, then look out, because something's rotten.
Any other public comment?
My name is Mary D. Burkhart, 1749 North Curlew Lane in the villages of Homestead. And I'm here just because of what I read in the paper about this landfill renegotiation of the contract. I think it's kind of embarrassing to even be thinking of renegotiating something that really just doesn't look right, doesn't sound right to a layperson. I don't know anything really about legal terms, but I know this doesn't seem right for you really even to be considering again. And I have another issue. That's really all I have to say on that one. And that is totally different subject. I really support and commend your work and your efforts toward getting new schools here in Homestead. I think it's real important to support that, everybody. And I appreciate your work toward that. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Fred Rhodes. I live at 101 Northwest 21st Street in Homestead, Florida. I was born in this city 80 years ago in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I know everything in this city. I know everything about the people in this city, and I personally hated to come up here tonight. I like to see you people run this city and let me keep my nose out of it. But as I see in the Miami Herald, they're really raising Cain about the city manager and the mayor and the attorney giving $7 million to some 5 or 6, 7 people and not passing that money around to the other people involved with the insurance. That really smells to hell and back. But when I read, I don't know anything about it. I know Pinky Munns. I knew his father. His father used to give me campaign money every year. One night he asked me, he said, Fred, I've been giving you campaign money for 10 years, and I've never got a job with the city of Homestead. I said, Charlie, you and I are good friends. We party together, we hunt together, we fish together, but you're always too high. And as long as you're too high, you're not going to get a job. But I'm sure that these people are fair and honest. But some honest mistakes are made. They were only supposed to dig those rock pits 30 foot deep, and I hear they're about 55 or 60 feet deep now. Somebody made a mistake. But what really upsets me is when you people, I was proud when you canceled the contract, but then when I heard that you were renegotiating it, you're going to give it back to him, I want to know how much money is going to change hands. I've read in the paper that it seems like we always give him money, or give the Redland Construction money, but we don't ever get anything back. I think it's time. I don't really think that you people, honest, and I'm sure you're all honest people, that you have the capabilities to figure out how much money Redland Construction owes the city of Homestead. I think we have negotiators. There's a judge in Miami that I know, Jack Turner. He's a negotiator. He's a retired judge. You can hire judges to sit down and investigate how much fill is missing, how much is gone, how much has been paid for, how much hasn't been paid for. Let's find out who owes who. But don't you try to settle it. I don't think you're qualified enough to settle it. Let's have another group of people come in and sit down and talk to Redland Construction and talk to the city and talk to the engineers, talk to the city attorney and the city manager. Let's get an honest evaluation of what the city is owed. And then I hear scuttlebutt around the city. It's a rumor. You're going to give the contract back to Redland Construction, and he's going to turn around and sell it to Homestead Village's people. I just don't know what the hell's going on. But I surely hope that you people will check this out. This man said he wrote a letter to the state's attorney. He wrote a letter to the attorney general. I don't know whether they're going to do anything about it or not, but I just hate to see the city council be criticized and penalized for doing something that you think is right, which may not be right. And I hope you'll sleep on this and pray on it and try to come up with a solution that everybody's happy and the people in this town quit criticizing you. That's all I'm here for. And I hated to come up here. I'm tired of politics. I've been in it too damn long now, but I hope and pray you people try to straighten this thing out.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Mayor, council members, my name is Renee Taylor. I'm a business owner here in Homestead, 38 Northwest 5th Street. I'm an associate of Pinky Munns on several projects, and I'm here today to say that just because you read something in the paper doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So everybody here, if somebody has an opinion, they can throw an opinion out if they want to. Mr. Rhodes is on the right track there. When you say that it needs to be investigated, okay. But it needs to be investigated clearly. You just can't make a snap decision. I can't have people coming up here and saying, I think that somebody stole this much fill and this much money. There's millions of yards of fill still in that pit out there. So if something's been over-excavated, there's plenty there for everybody.
Mr. Taylor, are you challenging the facts that were in the paper? Because I could sit with you and show you everything that I wrote. I could sit with you and show you. Are you challenging my facts?
Yes, I am. I'd be glad to do that.
I will sit with you and I will show you, and I can verify everything, and I will, by the way.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Saying that because Mr. Munns overdug 30 feet, took that out, sold a portion of it without telling the city and kept that funds, to say, oh, we'll just take it from the other portion and that'll make it all better, that is preposterous. Thank you for sharing.
Well, I didn't say that it was, that you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that, but I said the material is still there.
That's not the point.
Well, it's still there.
There was a violation here. Durham came in our town and shut us down because of a violation, a very, very, very serious violation. Not to mention 6 years of violations. Forget the funds, forget the monies. We have a violation that is so serious and so egregious that Durham came in and shut us down. I think this council needs to take this more seriously, and I think the flip was very, very disconcerting to me, and I'm going to tell you something. I have researched this for weeks and weeks. I have gone over hundreds of documents. I have looked at it, and that's why I changed one line in my letter that said, when the city of Homestead couldn't pay a debt, to the city of Homestead said it couldn't pay a debt. Think about that. That's how I've researched this. Don't challenge my facts.
No, Ms. Bell, that's fine with me, but I'm willing to sit down with you anytime.
That's fine.
And I would love to do that. And then afterwards, we could make that public.
I think before you, well, I'm happy to pay, well, I'll tell you what, I'll just do it all publicly.
That's fine with me, too.
Great.
Let me make a very brief comment on this issue. Very brief, because we are potentially in litigation, could be in litigation, this issue, and the council will reserve its comments as a result of it. We'll put something on the record that we'll probably get in some court at some point. But let me put this on the record. Councilwoman Bell put a statement in the local paper, her position on this issue, which was not supported by the majority of this council. We had a different opinion of the status of this situation. I will very shortly be putting a response in the paper, giving you my position on this issue. And as Mr. Taylor said earlier, we are all entitled to our opinion and our better judgment on this issue. But this situation started in 1998. And I think only myself and I think Councilman 97. And Councilman Porter was on this council. I have a habit of never Monday morning quarterbacking on a decision that a prior group of elected officials made in 1997. A decision was made in 1997 on this issue. So it just didn't happen. It happened in 1997, ladies and gentlemen. But you will get a response, and we will work this out. Not one of us will allow anyone to owe the city millions of dollars and don't do anything about it. Okay? My background is in finance, and I've been in this business for 30 plus years. And it's my position, if you owe the city, you're going to pay. But that's to be proven. And that's why the majority of this council, a week or so ago, the current position of this issue is that the contract is terminated. And we asked the attorneys and the manager to see whether we could work something out with Redland to the city's benefit, not to the Redlands' benefit. But the current status of the contract is terminated. But instead of allowing potential legal battle for the next 3 to 5 years, let's see where we can work it out to the city's benefit. And certainly to Mr. Munns have rights too. But we're not going to debate this tonight. I just want to let you know that each and every one of us is entitled to our position, our opinion on an issue. But it doesn't make it so. And it doesn't make it right. But we get to the bottom of it. I think we have probably one of the best law firm representing the city you'll find anywhere. And they're going to guide us through this. And we're going to do the right thing for the people of the city of Homestead. The right will be done for the people of Homestead. So just watch. Everything that we do is public. Just watch. We'll get some answers. And this issue is being looked at very, very, very careful. And we're going to make the right decision and the best decision for the people of Homestead. I assure you of that. And I can say that for every one of us here on the dais. That's our purpose. And that's why we're here. But this goes back to 1997, ladies and gentlemen. It just didn't happen. So I thank you all for your comments. I take it very, very serious, and I appreciate what you have to say. But let's get all of the facts on the table. And just don't look at one side, look at all of it. And get opinions from all of us. And then come to your own conclusion. But in the meantime, we're working on it. And it will be resolved. And we work with Mr. Munns to resolve it. And I assure you we will resolve it. So thank you all very much for your comments. Any other comments? Mr. Burgess. Mr. Burgess. And let me remind the speakers, when you come up, there's a clock up here. When that 3 minutes is up,
got it working.
Go ahead, John.
John Burgess, 655 Southeast 30th Drive. I won't get on that horse anymore tonight, Mayor, but I would like to talk about another company that does stuff. Downright Engineering is doing a lot of land movement behind my house. I've called City Code several times, left 8 messages, not had one returned call from code enforcement. I'm trying to find out the hours. I know they can start at 7, but if they can dig till 10 o'clock at night in a residential zone like they are out there night after night, then the city needs to go back and look at that, because that code is out of date. We've got neighbors that are up, and they're not, most days they do start at 7. I do have to give them credit for that, but there are days that they do start at 6 o'clock in the morning. And when you're trying to rest, or you've got small children, and there's nothing but horns going from the tractors moving and those guys digging, you can't get any sleep or rest over there. And it's night after night that they're there till 8, 9, some nights 10 o'clock at night. And I would like the city to do something about it for us over there, because it's getting out of hand. And I've been for 3 weeks trying to call code enforcement and not had one call back, and I've left 8 voicemails over there to 3 different numbers.
We get a response to you.
Thank you, and I'd like it to be quickly.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Porter.
John, the chief of police is sitting right there. Everything, you know how to get a hold of him? Yeah. Well, I tried not, he's got 1,000 other things. He's got a division that takes care of that. All they need to do is their job. He shouldn't have to put up with trivial stuff like that. But still, the buck stops with the chief. I understand that. He would get it taken care of, and I think it probably will be taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any other public comments at this time? If not, we're going to move on with the agenda.
Susan Newman, 2835 Fairways Drive. This is, again, a different little subject, but something that's been bothering me for the last couple months, and it's getting worse and worse. I'd like to know what the city code is for putting signs in the right-of-ways and the swells. It is getting so trashy looking that it's getting embarrassing. For instance, lately, I don't know the name of the business, but now over in Keysgate Country Club, there's a church. The signs are everywhere, obviously trying to promote their church. The little for sale by your own signs, the little for rent sign, it sounds strange coming from me, but I'm not allowed to put a sign in the swell or the right of way. And I really would like to know what the code is on that.
Mr. Mayor, we have a rash of that. You're absolutely right, not just east. We got it on the west side too. We got it at US 1, and I just spoke with code enforcement, I think it was last Thursday, and they promised me that they will put a push on going through and picking those signs up and contacting people.
Okay.
One of their issues, and no excuse.
They're on trees, they're on everywhere.
They're tied to poles, they're, everything. One of our issues, just so everybody knows, is that we have 3 code enforcement officers right at the moment, 1 of them sick and 3 in training because we've had some turnover. So there's a little delay in getting the force out there, the new people we added on and everything. So, but they're aware of it. I just talked to them last week, Thursday, about going out and blitzing.
But what is the city code about that?
You can't put them up as well.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
No.
So they pick them up. They've already picked up some of them, and they make the calls and do the right.
Sue, by the way, I had noticed the same thing, especially going out of the villages all the way on the BJ's. They are just lined up.
If you go up, Kingman, if you go down Pond Drive, it's everywhere.
And we know it. And the problem is, lots of times they get them up, and before you blink twice, they're back again. I think what we need to do with code is to call the numbers on the signs and tell them if they continue to do that they're going to be fined. I think we need to take each person and each sign and call, whether it's a...
Well, I'm sure that if my sign was in the swell, I would have had a call by now.
Right. I think that's the way to combat it, is just to call each person and find them. We'll eventually have to do that.
Thank you, Sue. Item 10 is business from the city manager.
Just 3 quick announcements, Mayor. Arch South's second Saturday will be Saturday, February the 11th. It'll start at 3 p.m. We've had a lot of these second Saturdays, so a lot of people know what that's about. But come down and enjoy Arch South and see the displays of art, or exhibits, I guess I should say. Down there, it's a nice event. There is also a reminder that there's a community outreach in City Hall. A representative from Congressman Mario Diaz-Balar's office is available the 3rd Wednesday of every month, and that is coming up here at City Hall to assist residents with any questions or concerns having to do with federal issues such as immigration, Social Security, Veterans Affairs, Medicare, and federal grants. If you need assistance with any of these matters, please come to City Hall 790 North Homestead Boulevard, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And the schedule for the next 3 months is as follows. It'll be February 15th, March 15th, and April 19th. And one last announcement, City Hall will be closed Monday, February 20th in observance of President's Day. Garbage and trash collection will remain on its regular schedule. That's it. That's all I can but that's it.
Thank you for closing on my birthday. I appreciate that observance.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Vice Mayor Losner.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank you for your kind words earlier this evening and also from the words of expressions from my colleagues on council. I want to briefly thank the 490 members of this community who turned out last Friday night to support the Rotary Club of Homestead. It's 21st or 22nd annual charity auction that has produced for this community thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships for our high school seniors going away to college from all of the Homestead area public and private high schools. Just a record crowd, a wonderful evening, and I hope that within the next couple of weeks, as the numbers come in from the results of that auction, that we can have the auction chair here and again demonstrate to the community what a fine event that is and continues to be to support the students of this community. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilman Porter.
Just one question, Mayor. I'd like to, Mr. Manager, if I could ask Mike or Julio. It seems that when you try to travel east, west, north, south, it seems that the signalization does not allow the traffic to flow long enough. The car counts seem to be wrong. And if at some point in time could you guys bring back some sort of analysis so we can take a look at or know how to look at why these signals are backing up from US 1 past Flagler, because they're not letting enough cars go by, or there's something wrong.
Mr. Porter, council members, we'll be happy to get in touch with Public Works, since Dade County Public Works, it's under their jurisdiction, and we'll have a report back to you by next council meeting.
Okay, thank you, because I just think there needs to be, if the signal was open longer, maybe we'd get away with some of that traffic flowing better. So I thank you. That's all I want to hear.
And Mike, as you look at that, I think you and Julio about a month ago gave us an update on some of the status of the signalization, and could you just bring that forward? And we need to share that with the community, because we've asked for traffic signals and others in different areas. I was very pleased with your report, so you could probably at the next meeting to share that with the public. I think it'd be good.
We will do, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wellman?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. As I reported to you last council meeting that we were very close to hiring an internal auditor, that didn't happen. So, I've instructed the city manager's office to consult with the same, I hate to call it, but it's called a headhunters, firm, to go out and find us someone who knows city government, and they did such a fine job with our utilities directorship that that example's been set, and so we will have hopefully an internal auditor very, very soon. I attended a leadership training program with the Florida League of Cities last weekend. That's why I missed the beautiful dinner, the rodeo dinner, and the rodeo. But it was very, very informative. It was about cities that are growing very fast, like ours, and the problems that happens with our parks and with infrastructure. So I'll be sharing more of that with you as time goes on. I want to give a public thank you to Assistant Deputy City Manager Mike Shahada and Julio, Robert Landon, and David Chalker. They have just been wonderful with all the storm drains that have been, all the construction that's been going on for the last year and a half, and they have worked with the citizens of those communities hand in hand. I received all the phone calls and tried to handle them on my own until I got to the point that I just couldn't, so I had to call in the team at the city, and you've all done a beautiful job And I was so proud of Robert Landon the other day because I saw some trucks parked on the grass, and next thing I know, I saw him out there telling them they better move that truck because that grass was new sod that had just been put in. And thank you so much. I really want to give kudos to your entire team. Good team. He's gone. Vice Mayor Losner, he did a wonderful job cooking all those prime rib dinners for us at the Rotary auction. That was delicious. Everybody loved the food. Good turnout and all for a good cause. I wanted to also give you an update on some of our ball fields because that's been a problem with all the hurricanes and all the problems that came about with the delays in fixing all the ball fields. But I'm proud to tell you that Roby George Park, the renovation of the field has been completed. J.D. Red Park, the field renovation is completed with the exception of the installation of a new base anchor and breakaway base system. Harris Field, fields 1 through 4 completed with the exception of grass insulation and the new breakaway base system. Renovations of fields 5 through 7 are in progress right now. And at the softball complex, the Pro Turf has been, they've begun the renovations of all 4 fields on Wednesday, February 8th, starting with field number 2. So we are in the process. I ask for your patience, and I thank you very much for being patient because it's our children, that primarily use these fields. And I want to give you an update on our grants that we've applied for. We're on the approved funding list for 2 grants. So now all that has to be done is the governor's budget has to be passed. So let's pray because those 2 grants, one of them is the $200,000 grant for James Archer Smith Park, and the other one is the $500,000 grant for the expansion of the Senior Citizen Center. So they're very important grants. We've been working on them for a very long time, and we were thrilled to find out that they are on the approved list. So that's going to make a huge impact on our community. Just a quick update, our TR for Tots golf tournament, which the City of Homestead sponsors every year, is going to be held on April 29th. If you just want to play some golf, we'd love to have you come out. If you'd like to volunteer for the day, all the proceeds go to the Little Angels Association. So we need helpers to help sell the sodas and the raffle tickets and different things like that. If you'll contact me or Brian, I don't know where Brian is, in purchasing, but we also need sponsors for the tournament. So if anybody's interested in having your name on a shirt or on a hat or on a golf ball, believe me, all that money will be spent for the children in the City of Homestead that are physically or mentally challenged. And that's April 29th. Also, I just wanted to mention this little ribbon that I have on my chest. I'm going to do a sales promo. This little ribbon that I have on my chest. I'm the co-chair this year for the Relay for Life. I was chairman for about 3 years until I came down with breast cancer and wasn't able to chair the Relay for Life for a couple of years, but now I'm back. And the City of Homestead we have 2 teams in, and the theme this year it's called Movie Night. And of course we picked Grease. And so we're all going to be dressed like pink ladies and have our Harley shirts on and our hair greased up. But these little ribbons, we're selling these for $1 a ribbon. And they've already made over $250. So all the money goes to the Cancer Society, and it stays in the South 8 area. Every Monday, if you happen to be in City Hall, the city clerk and the assistant deputy city clerks, they bake and they sell baked goods. So they made, I think, $24 today on their cookies. So come on by. We're going to have a good time. That's going to be May 5th and May 6th. We'd love to have you enter a team. We're just going to have a blast. So please keep that in mind. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
And she didn't have anything to say tonight.
I know, but I did it in 5 minutes. They're going to put a clock up here for me. When I start seeing it blink, I know that's my time.
Can you say the date of that again?
Pardon me? The Relay for Life is it's an 18-hour event. It starts Friday, May 5th, and it kicks off at 6 p.m. and it ends the next morning. anywhere from 9 to 11. I mean, we won't talk about that, but the golf tournament, isn't it at Redland again, or is it back at Keysgate? Does anybody know? Oh, Kurt, here's Kurt. Redland? It's at Redland Golf and Country Club. And you'll help? Yay. Good. Got 2 helpers there. Thank you so much.
Councilwoman Bill?
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to thank everybody for the unbelievable outpouring of support, phone calls. Everybody that called, that I was able to speak to, I told them not to come tonight. So the people that were here tonight, I didn't get to you, but thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it, for supporting your city. Not supporting me, but for supporting your city. Also, I wanted to share, last week we had an EFBD meeting, and we took a look at the master site plan for the first 2 schools in the EFBD, and that was very, very exciting. We are hoping to have the groundbreaking on April the 1st and no later than April the 1st. In fact, I've kind of given them, we have to have it by April the 1st as a drop-dead timeline so that we can have the opening of the first EFBD school in '07. And the holdup has not been the school board, the holdup has not been us, the EFBD board or the city. The holdup has been panther mitigation, wetlands mitigation, water management district, Florida Army Corps of Engineers. This has been the holdup. It's not been anything else. We've been right on the dime with our design team. I mean, we have met we've been very meticulous in all the details, so we are going to get that groundbreaking, and it's going to be very exciting to have a groundbreaking for the first EFBD school. Also, Military Affairs Committee last week, we had a great meeting. The rodeo parade was phenomenal. I do believe it was the biggest turnout yet for any parade I've seen in the city of Homestead, especially for any rodeo parade. And I had 2 of my grandchildren with me, and we just threw out so much candy, and we didn't have enough because there was just, I've never seen as many children and as many people in my life, and it was just really thrilling. And the rodeo itself was phenomenal, and it was packed. It was just wall-to-wall people. It reminded me of going to the Dade County Youth Fair. That's exciting. That's people that came into the city of Homestead, spend their money in our town. So this is good stuff for the city of Homestead. Last week, I got back in time actually to go to that. I spent 2 days at the Design Institute at FAU Jupiter campus, and it was really a fascinating thing that I was invited to go to. And the first thing that they did was they came down here for a site visit, and they asked me to pick a targeted area in the city of Homestead that I think is blighted and I would like to see renovated. And I chose the duplex city, what we call duplex city area in the Northwest. And I consider that to be the most underserved area in the entire city of Homestead because it does not fall within the CRA area like the Southwest does. So this area just really falls through the cracks. So I came away with some ideas that I need to sit with you, Rick, came away with some ideas on how to incorporate some CRA dollars into this, as well as a design. So we actually sat there and we had architects helping us and professionals helping us, and one of the people who spoke to us and was there for this was John Classy. He's the designer of Baldwin Park. And so he was our speaker and helped us. Then we were assigned architects and planners for our city. We did a site visit first, and we went out and we took pictures, and then I went back up to FAU in Jupiter, and I did a PowerPoint presentation and showed them this is the targeted area and showed them. And one of the things that they commented on, again, Chief, and we are certainly not beating up on code enforcement tonight, but one of the things that the site visitors commented on was that this area is full of code violations. And I said, I know, we're really working on that. It just seemed to be a problem. But we came away with some really neat ideas on redeveloping this Northwest section, and I'm very excited about that. And because the mayor had assigned Steve Losner with the Northwest Moratorium and the Northwest Design, I had asked them if they would invite Steve Losner as well, so we were both able to go because he's charged with that, so he needed to be able to come away with that. So we really learned a lot. I think what we came away with is really going to benefit the city and is going to benefit that area. So it was a very well spent 2 days. The Agricultural Awards Luncheon, very good, very well deserved. I was very proud to attend, and actually we ran to that and then ran straight to the car for the Design Institute. Also, we had the school board joint elected officials workshop week before last, and it was on a Friday. And I actually went to that before I had to run to the airport and get on a plane for Washington, D.C., so that was calling it close as well. But I was invited to be a guest speaker, and the topic that I was able to speak about with Anna Rijo Conde, who's a facilities planning, is the cooperation. They asked me to speak on the cooperation between the cities and the school board. So it was really, really exciting to say, look what we've accomplished and look what we've done. And many cities are beginning to do this. Many cities are coming on board with their school board saying, we need to work together on getting more schools in our area. So it was a really nice workshop. And this is a workshop that we end up always going way, way, way north and have to be there at 8:45 in the morning. So we decided we were going to host it this time, and it was a phenomenal, phenomenal workshop. Also, the welcome reception for General Cleveland, I heard it was wonderful. I was unable to attend because I was in D.C., so my husband and daughter attended, and I heard it was absolutely wonderful, as well as the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new building on the Homestead Air Force Base. So I want to commend them and compliment them as well. And that's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Bell. Councilman Garner?
I think that covers all the events we went to. On behalf of the Homestead Junior Women's Club, I would just like to thank everyone who came out to the rodeo dance. We had a great turnout. We don't know how much money we made yet, but thanks to all of you, sponsors, volunteers, and patrons, it was a success. So I'll bring the numbers back next meeting, but we usually make about $13,000, and that goes all back into our community. So thank you. Mayor, I just wanted to give you an update. And also thank you for giving me the Public Relations Marketing Committee. I'm excited about it. I met with Lillian and Marlene, and we have a long list of items we're working on. Some of our major focuses are communicating with the residents. We want to increase communications in any possible way we can, through the website, through newspapers. We're going to be meeting with the media, local media. We're also working on image building within the city, internal and external, so we have a lot of things that are going to be coming forward, and I hope we'll have your support, but we have some great ideas, and the ladies are working very hard on this. I'll be bringing that back to you soon. At our last council meeting, I was here begging for money for the Mayor's Youth Council. We are going to Washington. Our trip is planned April 10th through 13th. Our itinerary is jam-packed. As soon as we get off the plane, we're getting in a motor coach and we're going to the National Archives. There's no downtime. We are busy the whole time we are there. We're going to the White House. We're going everywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. But there are going to be 20 of us going, and the total cost for the trip is $21,000. Right now, and after the last meeting, thank you very much to Wonderly South Dade. They gave us $6,000 last meeting, but we're still about $9,000 to $10,000 short. And the group has done a lot of fundraising, working at different events, and going and helping people for donations, like they helped the Junior Women's Club. A little bit here, a little bit there. They've raised over $6,000 on their own, but we're still short $9,000 to $10,000. So all of you developers will keep getting letters from me until we get what we need. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Garner. I think some of you may have read an article in the Herald about the Marlins and the city having a conversation with the Marlins. Well, it is true. The manager, and I'll give him credit, initiated a conversation with the Marlins a couple of months ago, right before the Christmas holidays, and just said, look, we got a baseball stadium. If you guys can't work it out with the city of Miami, then come on down to Homestead. And we were surprised to hear that when they met with the city of Hialeah, that the president of the Marlins said, well, we got the schedule to meet with Homestead, and see what Homestead can do for us. And I think the manager told me today that they're working out arrangement to meet with us to talk about the possibility. And I want to say very clearly the possibility. We know what will happen, but we got a beautiful facility out there, and the original intent of that stadium was the Cleveland Indians. So we can get the Marlins in that stadium. I think that'll be a good thing. That'll be a welcome to what we attempted to do many, many years ago. So I'm hoping that we have success on that. I'll tell you, I know they're looking for leverage, and they're talking to people all over the country. So we're one of the places that they're talking to. So let's hope and pray that something comes out of the discussion. I want to recognize Elena and our finance department for a certificate of excellence for the financial reporting. And I think former Mayor Rhodes talked about the need, and I want to tell you, Mr. Mayor, that we have probably some of the best minds in that finance department of City of Homestead, and we just were recognized for a certificate of excellence for our financial reporting of city finances. I just want to thank you, Elaine, and your staff for doing a fine job and being the watchdog for what we do here, and making sure that the public's tax dollars are being well spent and well accounted for. So thank you all very much. Job well done. And I have nothing else. And let me thank you all very much for coming out this evening. And as I said earlier, pray for the Vice Mayor and his family for the loss of his grandmother. And I want to also say pray for Mr. Anthony Clayton and his family as they go through this period of bereavement. Thank you all so very much. Have a good evening.